Do you today, I know that you have before, but do you today ever walk into environments that you don't feel like you belong in?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
What's going on, family? David Shands. I want to give you a special invitation to the Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com. It is the only organization that gathers every single morning, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we help you learn entrepreneurship, grow as an entrepreneur, become an entrepreneur, or you just get to be in an environment, a network of all entrepreneurs. Literally hundreds of entrepreneurs gather on a Zoom call every single morning, Monday through Friday, okay? So I want to give you a special invitation to help grow your business and your brand all this year, okay? Every single day. You eat every day for your health. You brush your teeth every day for your hygiene. I need you to learn and grow every single day for your mindset, okay? So make sure you go to themorningmeetup.com. It is only $1 trial. You don't need a promo code. Just go $1, themorningmeetup.com. Check it out. If you like us, stay. If not, after that, it's $79 a month. But I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy yourself, okay? So go to themorningmeetup.com. I love y'all. See you in the morning.
The Social Proof Podcast. Streaming now on all platforms.
Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. The Social Proof Podcast is about providing social proof, meaning something that you did that you could teach somebody else how to do. And I'm excited because it's just me and Donni today. Yo, we're going to entertain questions, but we're going to be talking about networking. So hold on, what is that? What was that? Hold on, I think.
Those are hearts. Shan, sit down.
No, it says view request. Are you able to send a badge? No. You don't see it? Hold on. What does that view request say at the bottom? Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down, up a little bit.
The other way.
Up a little bit. Because there was like a big box.
There.
What did that say?
It disappeared.
Dang.
I think it was a request for somebody to be in the video when you said we were taking questions. So, hey guys, good morning. So we are going to be talking about the power of leveraging other people's networks. Absolutely. And we mean that in terms of networking. We're talking about networking to build your business. We are talking about social media leverage, all those good things. I think it's exactly how you and I both really do what we do.
Absolutely.
Leveraging other people's networks.
For sure. So well,
we didn't start.
How was your week, Donni? Because we was about to just get into the information. Because I'm thinking Badge is about to show up, and you got to give him the heat real quick so somebody can hit you off with a couple dollars on the badge. But we don't do it for that. We do it for the impact.
We do it for the impact.
How was your week, Donni?
My week was really good.
What happened? Why you smiling so hard?
Can't stand you.
And I was about to say something, but I was like, you know what? We just talked about that.
We just talked about it. My week was really, really good. My week was incredible. In fact, I got, you know what? I changed my assistant's work hours, which are definitely more conducive to my days and my flow. So that in itself was like a major help professionally. Right. I got to hang out with you this week. We hung out. We grabbed a bite to eat. Let's see, what else?
Did we pod last week? Did we do it?
We did not on Thursday, but we did last Sunday.
We did last Sunday. Okay. Okay, got you. And actually, we're supposed to be doing a podcast with somebody right now, and they just didn't show up.
So we have a guest that was booked for today, and they totally abandoned us. However, it's okay because me and Shands do what we do.
Yeah,
right?
we about to give y'all some value, man.
Some super value.
How was my week? Thanks for asking.
Before we get into all of that, get your notebooks ready. Get something to take some notes on because we're definitely going to deliver some value. Shands, how was your week?
My week was awesome. And I think maybe it was pretty average. Listen, you can't be looking at the Instagram live because we're still recording for our YouTube family, okay? Stay focused. Lock in.
You mean as you were getting up to check for badges?
That was in the beginning.
Okay.
But anyway, the intro was trash, but we just going to jump straight into it. You know what I mean? But my week was awesome. And I don't know if I had anything extra amazing happen. It was almost
you got to hang out with me this week.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was nothing like super exciting. I did go to my man Katie Bo's studio, which is crazy. I think it's going to be a dope opportunity for collaboration.
We have a dope opportunity. We have lunch coming up this week.
Yeah. You know what? I was gonna change it from lunch to actually going to the studio because I want you to be in there and I don't want to pay for everybody's lunch.
You don't have to pay for everybody's lunch.
I felt like the pressure was there.
No.
Because I was 2 men. We're not going to make you pay.
Well, no, that was never going to be an option. But what I'm saying is, right, we let the podcast pay for it.
That was good.
That was never going to be an option.
Back to my week. Thanks.
Okay.
So, we linked up with Katie Bowe. But again, my week was according to plan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My week was really, really according to plan.
Okay.
And I think that's the goal as an entrepreneur, to be able to get your week to not take a dive, to be like automatic. And so, and I didn't really work that hard this week.
So you like to be like systematic and predictable?
Yeah, I like to predict my week.
See, I like a little spontaneity. Throw a little surprise, throw something in there for a little razzle dazzle. For me.
But I think I can't do that because I put so much on my plate, and then with a pregnant wife at home, it's like I can't just like move and shake like I used to. So I like to make sure that these are the things that need to get done. And if those things get done, then it's a successful week.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Without any extra effort. And maybe we can like talk about y'all saying that my business isn't scalable. So we're at dinner. It's shouts out to my man Wall Street Trapper. It was me, Donni, Wall Street Trapper. I think Maddie came later.
He came later.
You
were gone.
And they're telling me that my business isn't scaled. Like I'm not scaling my business.
You're not. Well, so we have to put that into context, right? Shands has a multifaceted business. Meaning there are several moving parts that are involved in making the whole Sleep is for Suckers, David Never Sleeps, David Shands brand work, right?
On my plate.
It's a lot on your plate. And he was sharing that he wanted to really focus on his morning meetup group, which is a fantastic community, by the way. If you are an entrepreneur or someone who wants to be an entrepreneur and you need some type of motivation, you want to learn some things from experts from his network, themorningmeetup.com.
Themorningmeetup.com, yep.
Is the place to go. So Shands and Trap and I were talking, and what were you saying in the beginning? Because what you said in the beginning isn't necessarily what you said after I told you the business wasn't scalable.
It's the same thing. I said I'm looking at I'm scaling. My whole focus is scaling the morning meetup. And I think your point was it's not scaling if I have to be involved, and I don't agree. Yeah,
so what Shan said, we were talking to him about the morning meetup and the way that it operates. And you were saying that you love being there every day. You love being in that environment every day. And my point to you was, if you seriously want to scale this business, then it can't be solely dependent on your likeness, right? It can't be solely dependent on you being present, because the moment that you want to then start using that time to do other things, you're going to notice a decline in membership, because the way that you built this right now is based on your likeness. People expect for you to be there. They're signing up to hear from you, right? Even though they get to hear from your network, that's a bonus, but people want to be connected to David Shands. And so all I was saying was start to now reposition a little bit so that it's not so much dependency on you being there. Whereas instead, this is David and his friends, David and his Rolodex, right? David and his network are coming to present to you. There are some leaders and teachers who have these groups similar to what you have going on, and they're never in them. And I don't necessarily like that
First
part
off,
either.
Nobody
right?
has a group like we have.
Okay.
Who?
Well, I mean, nobody has a group.
No one brings the community together every single day.
So that's absolutely not what I was saying, right?
Nothing like it, Jose.
I mean, shout out to featuring Jose, who's holding us down on the tech this morning.
Don't put him out there. Like, he's actually sitting in a chair coaching an overview. Because you can't.
He's over there laughing.
You can't make it seem like Jose's actually doing work because he's not going to be feeling
Oh my
that.
God, he's not going to feel that.
Yeah.
You're going to be slightly offended by that, right?
And he earned it. He earned it. Like, he's the quarterback now.
Jose is that dude.
Yeah.
Featuring Jose, check him out. He will not record any videos for you though.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Let's do this. So no, and though there are not other membership groups quite like the Esteem,
nothing like it,
Morning Meetup, there are other successful membership groups that focus in other areas, right?
I agree.
And it's based on that person like Grant Cardone or Gary Vee. They've figured out a way to incorporate membership, but they don't have to be so hands-on. They have like junior coaches and teams and people for that, right? And I love the fact that you absolutely love the Morning Meetup, but we were talking about scalability. Mm-hmm. We're talking about scalability. And so if you have to be there every single day, that's a guaranteed, 5 hours out of your week that you cannot do anything else.
Okay.
And not just a guaranteed 5 hours out of your week in actual performance time, but we then have planning time. We then have the questions and the DMs that come after that. There's so many other hours that are taken out of your schedule because of this. And if we want to make that scalable, we have to put different systems in place.
Okay. So, and here's my retort that yes, I am maybe the host of the Morning Meetup, and I'm the one that put it together, but it's not necessary. I would disagree that it's solely that people come because it's me. I think even when I'm promoting it, I'm not promoting, hey, this is David, come meet me at the Morning Meetup. Like, we promote the community. Like, Jose is in there every week. Like, we have special guests every week. People come. The community is there. So at 8, it starts at 8 o'clock. The texts go out at 7:45. There are people that are on the call. Well, you didn't enroll in the membership or you'd be on the text list. But at 7:45, the text goes out. Mm-hmm. When I get on the call at 8 o'clock, there's already 30 people on. Mm-hmm. Because they're not coming for me, they're coming for the community. Mm-hmm. So I believe even if I'm in there every day, right, Monday through Friday for an hour, mm-hmm. the fact that I can do the same amount of work mm-hmm. and make more money without extra effort means you can scale. I believe the definition of scale is to be able to make more or grow with the same amount of effort or less.
Now, the conversation started because you wanted to start shifting your time.
I didn't say that.
You absolutely said that.
No, I did. Okay,
and then here's also what I said, right? Not just that. And so, and I get it. I understand what you're saying. Being able to scale without doing more work, but still growing the business and making money. Well, then I challenged you and I said, okay, if this membership group is not based on your likeness, then let's take 2 weeks off. Do not go inside the group for 2 weeks. And then let's test. Like, I believe in A/B testing.
Why would I do that to prove a point?
Because that's what data and analytics and market research is. Sometimes you have to say, I wonder how solid this is without me.
Right.
And so then let's take 2 weeks off.
Which would be cool. Okay, so what would be the reasoning behind it?
The reason for you to take 2 weeks off is to prove whether or not you're building a group dynamic that's based on your likeness, or if people are really so interested in the community that they want to continue to pay membership just for that piece. And if you have built a solid enough foundation to prove that, I think that's amazing, right? But we don't know until we test it.
Well, here's the thing. I do know. Jose.
No.
Okay, so Jose's, what?
No. No,
what you mean?
Jose is in that group every single day. That's your man.
Which is perfect.
That's your guy.
He's not going to answer. He'll answer truthfully. So, Jose, how needed am I on the call every single day?
Not much. Just to use this as an example, he'll go for an hour. Sometimes we're on. I know I've been on 2 hours answering questions.
After.
I understand, but
real quick.
Okay.
It'll be 365 now. It still be 200 people in there.
Okay.
Still locked in.
Like
but if David stopped showing up altogether.
Actually, I think we could put it together for 2 weeks.
100%.
For 2 weeks.
100%.
Then let's do it.
I'm not. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Jose got to step up. Nah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The reason I wouldn't do it is because it would deprive me of what I love.
It makes you happy, and I understand that this absolutely makes you happy, but that's not the conversation we were having.
But then I
don't want you to skirt. I don't want you to do that.
I would be proving it to you all.
No, you would be proving it to you. You want to be able to scale this in a way that's not based on your likeness. You want a dope community of entrepreneurs. You don't want the David Shands community of entrepreneurs, correct?
Correct.
So the only way to test it, right, Jose, am I wrong? We have to test it.
She'd have to be inside to really understand.
No, Shands, I've been inside
You've been
enough.
on from a guest speaker perspective.
Okay, and maybe maintaining what you have, right? But that's not scaling. How do we then grow it if your likeness is removed from it?
Good question. So I have, me and Nehemiah Davis, we are coming together, and he's like the funnel system guy. He understands it. So he's going to get an affiliate for the system that he puts in place to bring people in. Mm-hmm. He'll be promoting it. He's not promoting me. He's going to be promoting the morning meetup. And he's going to put a system together where, we'll be running ads to it and things that we can go to 5,000 people. I'm 100. We're at probably like 600 now, but we can go to 5,000 people.
Okay.
If we start to market and advertise, because we do literally no marketing at all. Mm-hmm. Like none.
You do.
How?
So this episode was brought to you by the morning
meetup. So yes,
it's in your bio, it's in your Clubhouse, it's on
That's
IG.
Not marketing.
That is absolute marketing because we're driving traffic to those sources.
If you had a client that came and said, "Hey Donni, I'm marketing," and they had a link in their bio, you feel me? And if they simply had a link in their bio,
I would say that they're not marketing. But because we're driving traffic to our bio, that is marketing.
But so my point is, we can scale it by more marketing. I don't have to remove myself to make it scalable.
I understand.
And I'm willing to commit 1 hour every day throughout the week for the rest of my life.
1 hour every day throughout the week for the rest of your life.
For the rest. Yo, do you realize if there was 5,000 people in the community, mm-hmm. I would work 5 hours a week and not have to work ever again.
Dope, run it.
That's scalable.
That is scalable. But that's not the conversation we were having.
Yes, it is.
The other night.
You weren't even
there. How are you shaking your head? Yes, you weren't there.
Yo, check this out. Even if it's built on my likeness. So for instance, Jim Rohn, he has like the Jim Rohn Institute or whatever. He can scale the products that he has. He can scale by marketing his older stuff. And Jim Rohn passed away. By marketing his older stuff, and then they're building a business around his likeness, and he's not even alive. But he also wasn't showing up every single day. What I'm saying is, even if it's built off his likeness, you can still scale.
Absolutely, and that's what I was saying. We were talking about your direct involvement. And the way that the conversation began is because you want to move more in a direction to do a couple of other things and looking to free up some time.
But I'm never leaving the morning meetup.
You're never
If you're in the morning
ending.
meetup, I will always be with you.
Okay.
See, I love
that's what I mean. And I think that's great. I love that level of commitment. It just, ultimately, we have to say, well, what is the goal? What is the end goal, right?
True.
And if the end goal is just for you to satisfy your desire to be present, then we're doing that perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just know when we get to 5,000 people, we're putting on conferences for free. Just know that. When we get to 5,000 people in the morning meetup, I'm coming out of my own pocket to put on like trips and resorts for people. That would be all. Wouldn't that be crazy?
That'll be dope. Gracious. But because this is the Social Proof Podcast and not the morning meetup planning session, we're going to get back to the
morningmeetup.com.
We're going to get back to the episode. So David and I, we've done a really, really good job at leveraging other people's networks to build our own businesses, right? And quite honestly, I think that's the secret sauce between both of us. I don't know that we do anything so spectacular. We have found networks to get into, and we know how to communicate and position in those networks.
Right. Just like if I have like a meeting after a podcast, for some reason, Donni just always wiggles her way. Where are we going? Like, we're going. You're good at positioning yourself.
What is this?
Are you going to stay focused?
Well, I thought it was a badge opportunity. It's something at the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, see what these it
says view request. We are going to bring, is that a question?
Okay. All right, look, y'all can ask questions, and Jose will read them out as we're going into this networking and positioning yourself.
Put them in the question box, you guys. If you have a question, put
them in the... Are you able to see the question box? Okay, all right, cool.
If you have a question, put them in the question box, because we are definitely going to be asking questions here. So David made a good point. So anytime, like if I'm in the area, for example, like today, if David were to say, man, I got this, because David can't keep his mouth shut about these amazing opportunities that he's been blessed with. And he'll say, yo, I got this lunch, I got to do this lunch. And I'm like, all right, who are we meeting? And then somehow I finagle myself into an opportunity as well, right? Guys, I'm very aggressive. Yeah, my friend isn't going to be the man who's extra connected, and I don't figure out a way to be a part of that. Why wouldn't I be a part of that?
Big facts.
Right? Why wouldn't I be a part of that? So, but here's the other thing. The flip side to that is, over the years, I have delivered so much value in your community. Number one, I've delivered a tremendous amount of value, I believe, in your community, and I do people right. So in this relationship, right, David can trust that he will introduce me to his network and things are going to go as planned.
Yeah. I've had people that I brought with me because they're cool. They're cool with me, but they don't really understand how to move in a room.
Yeah.
And you wind up saying something crazy, or you don't belong here. And then it seems like I'm the guy that brought the person. Then I can't front on my friend. You feel me? So I just been in those situations. That's why I'm very, very careful who I bring with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the first thing, if we're gonna talk about networking, you have to be the person that you would want in your network.
Strong.
You need to be the person that you would want in your network.
So let's elaborate. I don't want you to stop there. So because so many people think that the way that they move is acceptable, right? You have a whole networking no-nos book. For sure. Shout out to the networking no-nos book that will tell you from A to Z what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. But so many people are comfortable with who they are that they don't even realize the errors in their own ways, right? So what kind of person, what are some core characteristics of a person who you would invite into your network?
Somebody that's actually built something.
Okay.
And that was my major focus. I'm working at the Cheesecake Factory, and there's so many people I want to network, and I want to be invited to certain events and things of that nature, but I was only getting invited to the bar after work. I was only getting invited to the club with my coworkers, and nothing wrong with it, but I want to be in the circle of the elite. My friend said one time, he said, man, we got to build this brand so that we can go to any club and just walk in. That was the goal.
That was the goal.
And he said it, he was serious. He's like, yo, because he moved from, he was like visiting down here. Shout out to my man T-Dot. He's like, yo, you shouldn't have to pay to get in any club. Like, you just got to be, you should be that guy in the city where you could just walk in. And my thought was, how do I do that? So what I did was I started taking my brand and clothing every DJ I could find. So DJ Infamous, DJ Ace. I know I done gave some clothes to name a DJ in the city. I gave them a package because my goal was, how can I be valuable enough so that I walk in and people say, oh, that's that guy.
Let him on in.
Let him on. So I gave away thousands of wristbands because I had to create some sort of movement. So because what I realized is that people are attracted to people who have built something. So that's the type of person, I had to become the person that I would want to network with.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever walked into a situation? Do you today, I know that you have before, but do you today ever walk into environments that you don't feel like you belong in?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
The strip club.
Yo, did Dre tell you I invited you guys to the strip club this week?
No, did she?
I invited you actually, and you said, ask Dre.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Dre.
Yeah. You weren't trying to come at all,
Probably
were
because,
you?
yeah, because I'm not comfortable there.
Okay. But if Dre would have said, let's do it, would you
I
have?
said no.
You would have said, so why'd you have me
Well,
call
I knew
her?
she wouldn't do it.
No, she absolutely wanted to do it. Y'all were dropping off Turo cars.
Well, no, I wouldn't have done it. But I think it's a good gesture.
What do
You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have asked her, and then I'd rather her come to me and say, "Oh, Donni invited us." I was like, "Oh, no, I'm good."
So just for context, right? Me and some friends had a business meeting at the Cheetah, which is a dope club here in Atlanta. We were legit going for business, and inside of the Cheetah is a 5-star restaurant. Y'all know your girl likes to eat.
No, and I've been there.
Cheetah's dope. I mean, it's not anything special. You don't see anything that you don't see on TV, right? You don't see anything that you don't see on Power. You don't see anything that you don't see on Power, right? You certainly don't see anything that you don't see on the internet. They don't do the most in Cheetah. So anyway, we were having, me and two friends of mine who are also two friends of David's, were having a business meeting, and I was connecting a relationship, and we were meeting at Cheetah, and it's right around the corner from my place. David always invites me into environments like that. So I'm like, hey, yo, you and Dre meet us.
Invite you to environments like that.
Okay, not like that, but you invite me to meetings with that type of purpose. And so I called David, understanding that he's a married man. Like, it's different for me to say, hey, meet me at the restaurant, rather than me saying, meet me at the strip club. Right. So I invited David and Andrea, his wife. And David's like, yo, hit Dre up. So I do, and I explain the whole thing to her. Hey, Dre, David told me to hit you. We're about to do this meeting. I need you there, girl. And she's like, oh, yeah, we're about to drop these cars off at Turo. But we ended up talking on the phone for like an hour. Anyway, so the strip club is an environment. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about, do you ever go into rooms where you feel like people are so much further along than you that you don't feel comfortable? Or you don't feel like that you belong? No, I don't. Because I've built something, I know I have something that any environment, any successful environment can use. So what I realize is when people become super successful, it stops being about the money. Yeah. It's more about the give back. I have an environment where 300 entrepreneurs that are trying to get in the game could use some information. Someone that's super successful would love to give back to that. So me personally, I don't ever, let me give you this. When it's an environment of people in the music industry, I do feel like I don't belong. Do you feel like you don't belong because you just don't like that particular crowd, generally speaking?
I just don't know nothing about music like that. Okay. Like, they're talking about all these new rappers and new artists, and I have no idea.
So do you feel uncomfortable because you are not, do you even desire to know?
No, and politics.
That's, okay, those are different rooms.
Conversation,
Those are different rooms. So.
But the lesson in that is I go where I know I can add value. Right. I'm not going just because, like, if Meek Mill is somewhere and it's like some sort of industry event, I'm not excited to go. Because I'm gonna be in that room and I'm not gonna know anything about anything. I don't know about the music. I don't know what's hot or not. I just don't know. Now, what I would get excited about is if ET is doing something, Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, like they got an event coming, I'm like, yo, I gotta be in that room. In there.
However, do you feel like it's important, because especially now with so many comedians and music industry people who are now transitioning away from the entertainment space and into the business space, into the coaching space, into the course creation space, don't you feel like there's some synchrony there, so it makes it important to start figuring out how to network in these environments?
Possibly, but I'm not gonna search in a garbage can to find a sandwich. You feel me? Like you can find some things that could be useful for you in an environment that like, so for instance, the club, perfect example. People are dancing, people are listening to music, they're drinking, and there might be my target market in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to the club to find the one or two people who would listen to me in that space.
Yeah.
I go where the audience is primed and ready, and I know I can add some value. So I think that's a major key to networking. I don't ever want to be in an environment that I can't add value in some way.
I'm glad you brought that up. So there's a hot new social network that's popping right now. I think we were on it until 2-something this morning.
Clubhouse, yeah.
We were on Clubhouse, this app. If you don't know anything about it, download the app. We were on Clubhouse until like 2-something this morning, both knowing that we had to be here today, this morning, to film this episode.
And I'm proud of you, because you wasn't as late as I thought you were going to be.
I was 8 minutes late. I was 8 minutes late. And that's only really because I stopped on the side of the street to do my makeup real quick.
Oh. All right, go ahead. Now go ahead. Proceed.
So I teach my students inside of my 6-Figure Accelerator program, which is a program for anybody who is looking to put together their consulting or coaching program from scratch. Okay. I teach my students how to go into an environment and not always consume information, right? At some point we have to stop consuming information and actually apply. And then we actually, Clubhouse is like a big conference where all these experts get to be on stage and kind of play show and tell, right? Let me tell you how much I know. Let me teach you everything that I know, right? It's the CAP app, right? But you can actually get a lot of business, a lot of exposure, a lot of new people connected to you through that environment. But here's the key. The key, even in Clubhouse, is to leverage other people's network, for sure. Yep. So in an environment like that, obviously you always want to be a student of the information, for sure, right? But at some time you have to step up and say, hey, I actually know something about this topic. Let me raise my hand, get on stage, and contribute to the conversation. Yeah. And if you contribute well, then a couple of things will happen. Number one, people will begin to follow you. Then it's important for when they hit that follow, because the follow is not enough. What's the experience that they see once they hit that follow button? So how clear and direct is your bio? How easy and user-friendly is the link that you have in your bio? Are you contributing to conversations that match what you offer in business, right? So either you'll get a new follow and people will engage with you, or you'll get invited to stay on stage and have the ability to continue to deliver value into an audience, right? Leveraging other people's networks isn't just about what you get from other people. You have to be prepared to deliver some sort of value, right? Let's talk about, we touched on this in another episode, but for those who, because I know you get it all the time too. You get it so much to the point where you don't really respond to your DMs like I do.
I'm working on it.
I'm
working on it. I promise you.
I be throwing him under the bus.
If I didn't respond to your DM, I'm sorry. Blame it on my time and not my heart, because I love you. Yeah.
So, but you do respond to some. You respond to a good amount of them. You probably get a whole lot more than I do, because you have like over 100,000 followers at this time.
101, y'all.
That happened this week.
Yeah.
You hit 100K.
I hit 100K. Yep.
You hit 100K.
I'm officially an influencer.
You are officially an influencer who deserves premium pay for your influence. Premium pay.
You gotta cut me a check at 100
for your
Let's go. Look, authentic.
You got to cut me a check at 5. I'm not playing no games. I'm not playing any games. No, but so let's talk about, so leveraging other people's networks. So I get it all the time. Donni, can you mentor me? I don't have any money. I just lost my job. Woe is me some more. Woe is me times 3. Can you do something for me? Mm-hmm. Whereas the approach should be, hey, listen, at this time, I am not in a position to pay you, but I noticed that you could benefit from this skill set that I offer. Mm-hmm. Can I help you here in exchange for just being in your environment and soaking up information, right? Talk to me about when people are approaching you about mentorship and there's no value add attached to it.
Well, I think that's a part of why we started the morning meetup, because people want to connect with me, and I'm just not real big on time wasting. So I don't charge people for information. If I'm in a grocery store and you're behind me in the grocery store and you got questions, as long as you got your mask on, I'll answer your questions. Like if I'm at the kiosk and you got questions about how to build a business, I'm going to answer your questions, because I don't charge people for information. I charge people for the time. Like if I have to cut an hour out of my day to sit with you when I could be spending an hour with my wife, with my daughter, I could spend an hour building my business, I could spend an hour podcasting, talking to my friends. If I have to take an hour out of my day, then you got to pay me for it. Mm-hmm. So I created the morning meetup so that for all the people who you can't necessarily, you want that connection, but I just can't allocate a one-on-one time. You can join the morning meetup and you can ask me personal questions in that group format. Every Thursday we do Q&A where you can get your questions answered, and I'm answering them for you. So my immediate thing is join the morning meetup. That's what you're going to need right now, because the first thing you're going to need is a community. If you're in that position, you need to see other people winning, talk to other people with different experiences.
Yeah, I think that's dope. So I want to give people some practical ways that they can leverage other people's networks. One of the things that I was super intentional about this year, so one of the biggest challenges that I have personally had this year, prior to this year, I was like one-on-one coach, right? So I offered one-on-one coaching services, which I still do on a much more limited scale now. But before this, I was a one-on-one coach. I was this time last year, one-on-one coach. I was handling operations for another uber successful company. I, have my book sales, and I was a speaker. So I'm getting paid to speak, on all these large platforms. So it's money coming in from everywhere. Well, nobody could anticipate that this whole pandemic would happen, right? And so, this year comes, and at the top of the year, I get really, really sick. I was like out of the game for almost 3 months, not really knowing what was going on with my health, right? Yeah. But at the same time, the world is shutting down around us, and it's like, hold on, I'm no longer doing operations for that company. That project is over. And sure, the books are selling. It's a $20 product, however, but there's no speaking engagements. And the speaking engagements for me would be an easy $5,000, $10,000, $12,000, job. And you're getting these things consistently throughout the year. Those add up, and that's really what, I leveraged. And then as a result of the speaking engagement, then I'm selling a lot of books. So I didn't really have to push and market those books because I'm always speaking somewhere.
Right.
Well, this year, obviously, like many people, that word that we hate to hear right now because it's so overused, I had to pivot. I had to pivot, and I had to say, okay, so if we're not speaking and I'm not teaching on stages, I still need to teach. I still need to be able to deliver this information, but I don't want to do it by increasing how many one-on-one clients I take. In fact, I want to decrease the number of one-on-one clients that I take and increase my income. Yeah. So I went into the space that I have taken many of my clients to, which is creating courses and programs and memberships and things like that for myself. Well, I had these big goals and ideas because I've worked with clients who I have helped create courses and programs, and they've gone on and made multiple six figures and millions of dollars. So Shans, I'm like, listen, I'm just about to put this together finally for me. We power it with ads and marketing. And so I'm like, I'm about to put it together for me. I can do this same thing. Now that I'm not speaking and traveling so much, I have the time to actually do it for myself, because it's a job to put a program together. Well, wasn't thinking about the fact that it's also an election year, right? Also this year, all of my social media was hacked. Everything, every social media account was hacked and disabled.
Hard. You got hit hard this year.
I got hit hard. So my social media account is hacked. I'm dealing with coronavirus earlier this year. So I put my course together and I'm thinking, I am about to kill it. I just got to put ads up. I know how to do this. We've done it a million times before, right? Facebook said no. This is a brand new, all of my social media is brand spanking new. So they would not approve an ad account for me. Wow. Yo. Wow. They wouldn't approve an ad account for me. Well, let me take that back. I got an ad account approved. They just wouldn't approve my ads. Right? So they gave me all these reasons. And, there's really, unless you're spending a lot of money at Facebook, there's nobody for you to really talk to. And so they give you all of these general ideas as to why your ad account couldn't be published. So this was supposed to be the year that really, really, really millions was made from my course program. Well, now, because I don't have the luxury of fueling my brand with ads, I got to figure it out. So now that I've taken this time and I've put this course and program together, how am I going to get people to it, right? So obviously I have a network of my own. Who else do I know that has a network of people who will be impacted by me, right? Who else do I know? What other opportunities can I create for myself so that I can still sell this program on a high scale? So obviously that includes you, right? Anytime Shan's calls, Donni, can you? Yes. Send me the details later. Can you? Yes, Shan, just yes, right? But then also you have to look at larger mediums, right? So now, because I can't personally run ads for myself, which is a BITCH, by the way, because it's so hard to run these ads for my clients and seeing the success, and I can't get my own ads. I'm like, oh my God. But now, it has to go from my friends like a Shan's, and now it has to go into places that are larger medium. So now I need to multiply this and get more exposure. How can I do that? So there's a couple of different options. You can still leverage Facebook groups today.
100%.
Facebook groups today are still absolutely popping. Okay, that's one. Now let's go into environments with our friends who have massive networks and figure out how to get in front of a massive group of people at once. That's two. And then podcasting. Podcasting was really the thing that set me apart this year. And so much so that my assistant's, one of her main focuses is finding podcasts for me to be featured on, right? Find podcasts that have my audience in it, and I need to be there, because I'm not, the average entrepreneur or the average new person getting started would say, man, I can't run ads, so let me just sell this, let me just post on Instagram. Right. If you notice, if you go to my Instagram page, I barely talk about, I still don't have to, right? Because I have figured out how to leverage the hell out of your network, how to leverage the heck out of YouTube, how to leverage the heck out of other people that I know that hold my audience by reverse engineering the value that we bring back and forth.
Absolutely. That's a major key. And I was sharing with my group that one of the strategies that I use is infiltrating a network.
Yeah. And
what it looks like is, like you said, like Facebook groups and things of that nature. Even when we can go outside, you find these groups, whether it's book clubs or, there's always groups that gather. You have to be a part of an organization. So let's just say, for instance, you are, let's say the morning meetup. So there's a group of people there. What I'm always looking for is the person who's going to be a little more vocal, the person that's going to be a little more active, the person that's going to show up. Because what happens is, when you find that person that's active, they're showing up, you hear their voice, everybody else begins to hear their voice too. And they look at that person and can expect that person being there, right? So Jose, he was just in the group, right? But he adds immense value. So, he'll have his own call on Wednesdays. And when it's time for him to sell a product, he has the whole network.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, he walked away, but I would be curious to see how many courses he sold when he dropped his course, because there was already a network that got familiar with him. So you need to find a network of people, a group of people, be active, be vocal, and bring value to that organization. But what happens is, if you do that in this group over here, and then you have another group over here and another group over here, you're pulling people from all three groups and building your brand.
Yes.
Because eventually you'll be in an environment outside of these three groups where people from these three groups all say, oh, yo, so-and-so, what's up, man? I see you in the, oh, what's up? And then you look like this person in this environment that everybody knows that person. So networking is super key, but just go to an environment and infiltrate it.
Yeah. And then there are all these little tree branches that create from that one connection, right? So a lot of my friends and relationships and things that I have right now are a result of you and I being friends and connecting. And I've come into these different, networks. And
are you going to introduce me to some of your rich friends?
What was the word that you were about to use before that?
Rich?
That was not the word.
Yes, it was.
You had a W word.
No, I did.
Yes, you did. You so trash for that.
All right, let me put it this way. So first off, I love people. It's just so, it's like everybody, 98% of the people that I know, I'm not even talking about like friends, and I'm talking about like actually know them and their name, are Black. Which I love my people. Like that's what I put on for. But I wanna get in different networks.
Basically, Shands is saying that I have a network of rich white friends.
I want to be a part of that.
And he wants to be a part of my rich white friend group. Shout out to all my rich white friends. But I have way more rich Black friends than I do rich white friends.
But I have none.
Yeah.
And I literally I've been trying to get someone on the podcast because
I got you. No, and the reason and that's a good example of what it means to leverage other people's networks, right? So, and not just, and so here's the other thing. You have to get into an environment, and when someone invites you to that network, the biggest mistake I see people make is only seeing that opportunity. You have to see so far past that opportunity, right? What other opportunities can I create?
Quick, is that a yes? You're going to introduce me to your rich white friends? She didn't answer that question, did she?
Why is he like, I was going in, and then he
we
just...
We have 6 questions? Okay.
We have 6 questions?
7, because I got one. She just didn't answer.
I am going to not only introduce you to some of my rich friends, I am going to invite them on the podcast as well, okay?
Awesome.
And that's rich friends in I don't care what color your skin is.
I want some of the other, I want some, rich Asian friends.
We're gonna get them. I have rich Asian friends.
Yeah. It's just
Can
think
you introduce me
attract,
to a rich? I attract what?
I think I attract. I think it's natural. We all attract people who are like us. It's just.
I'm not white.
No, but I'm saying you have more Black associations than white.
Absolutely.
Right? But we have these. Shouts out to Monique, my homegirl Monique. She has a huge network, and it's she got more white in her network than Black.
I wonder why people think that is. Why is that important?
It's important to me because I love human beings, all of them. All of them.
Me too.
And it feels like I'm missing out, or.
Let me tell you this, what you were about to say. I meant to cut you off. I can't. You know how people be like, I didn't even mean to cut you off, but I did. I absolutely meant to cut you off.
At least you're honest.
I will tell you though, I have been I don't really want to piss any of y'all off, right? But this is just fact from my experience. The conversation is different, right? So we are building business and we are doing amazing jobs. I think more African-American millionaires were created this year than in the last 20 years or something, I think was the number. And I am absolutely for Black business, and that's my priority, right? Seeing Black people really prosper in the areas of business and love, health, spirituality, all those things. But I became, a major transition for me in my business is when I started to get really, really focused on data and analytics. And I noticed that a lot of us as creatives only focus on the skill set that we deliver and not so much the data and analytics, right? And going into different masterminds where they don't care how many followers you have. Nobody is talking about how to leverage social media. They don't do that. You're not going to find them on social media. Yep. The conversation is different. It's based on market concepts, data, analysis, statistics, and facts. And that conversation, that language became so sexy and appealing to me because now we're moving from people who are saying, hey, I'm making $100,000 a month to people who are saying, I make $100,000 a day, right? That conversation is just very, very different. That conversation is very, very different, right?
Not only got nothing to do with the color of your skin, it's just getting in a different environment. I think the word that everybody needs to hang on to is different, not just going where you're comfortable. And I guess it could sound contradictory because I'm like, yo, I'm not comfortable in the entertainment, but yeah. I'm still going to be in the lane that I'm comfortable with, but there are different branches there are different levels, right?
There are different levels.
I love the small business entrepreneur. I love the influencer. I like that entrepreneurial market, but then there's another market of people who are socialpreneurs, right? The nonprofits doing it huge. It's still business, right? Then you got higher level, you got lower level, things of that nature. So
first of all, let me just say, aren't you proud of us and like what we're able, and I'm not talking about me and you, us. I'm talking about like the people who are likely watching us right now who are building 6-figure and 7-figure brands. Like, it's not easy to do. Every single day we wake up and make the decision that we're going to try it one more time. We're going to survive one more day. We're going to feed our families. We're going to take care of our homes and, you know, all this stuff. Like, I still get blown away. I have been a full-time entrepreneur, meaning no job, for the last 6 years, right? I've been doing entrepreneurship for a long time, but that back and forth scale of I need a job, don't need a job. Every single day, I am still so blown away that I get to do this. As hard as it is, right? We make it look easy. We're filming podcasts twice a week. I'm out eating luxury meals, fine dining all the time, and I travel to the nice places. This is not easy. All of that is a part of building the business, believe it or not. People love to see me eat fancy food. Like, one of the most consistent comments that we get about the podcast is, yo, Donni, when are you gonna take Dave to Oceanair?
Yes, yo,
when are you gonna take Dave to
I was
Oceanair?
wondering the same thing. When are you gonna take me to
Jose, real quick?
Golly,
Jose,
yo, I was like, what I gotta do to get a meal around
Jose,
here?
real quick.
Golly.
Did I make an invitation to take Shans to Oceanair today? Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you say louder for the camera?
Yes and yes.
Yes.
But do you know why? Do you know why she said we need to hurry up and go to Oceanair? Because her birthday's coming up. And she was like, she's definitely gonna say, yo, okay, where are we going? Then she gonna wanna go somewhere. And she going,
I'm gonna top whatever you got.
I don't drink, right? And I can imagine when we go to Oceanair for my birthday, she's, let me get a water, I'll take a lemonade. But if I take her out for her birthday, lemon drop, martinis.
Let me get that apple martini. First of all, when have you ever known me to not order whatever the hell I'm gonna order anyway?
Yeah,
anyway, right? I'm not concerned if you drink.
But we haven't experienced you taking me to eat.
But I have offered so many times, Shans. I told you one time. I
can't wait to see.
I told Shans to meet me at Chili's like 2 weeks ago. This is a person who, like, in the beginning.
Meet me at Chili's, I got you. What?
In the beginning of us building our relationship several years ago, Shans would be like, yo, let's meet for lunch, yada, yada, yada. Cool, where? I mean, it's a Golden Corral. First of all, sir.
I didn't invite you to no Golden Corral.
You absolutely did.
I don't even eat Golden Corral. I don't eat that foolishness. No, I did. No, I did. I might have been being funny. You know, I think I was being funny because that's when you started talking about you need a guy that can get you a $100 steak. I remember that.
First of all,
I got the video.
I absolutely need a man, or prefer a man who can afford a $100 steak. That was not the conversation. It was a $1,000 steak.
Yes, $1,000 steak.
It was a $1,000 steak, and I didn't say that I needed a man.
You feel me,
who
Jose?
Could buy. I never ever
you scrunch
said.
Your face up a little bit, right?
I never ever said.
Where are you get a $1,000 steak from, Donni?
I never ever said that I needed a man who could get me a $1,000 steak. We were talking, and this was years ago, like 6. Okay, for the record.
I'll pull up the footage. Don't worry.
I got the footage. It's on my phone.
Okay.
We were talking about, at that time, I was super single, right? And I don't require anybody to do anything for me that I can't do for myself. And so I don't shortchange myself luxury experiences, period. So I am not going to allow, I'm not attracted to someone that I have to like bargain with for pleasure, right? And the conversation about the $1,000 steak came because I had found out about this $1,000 steak on a menu in New York that I said, yo, I want to try this $1,000 steak. And Shan's like goes crazy with his little audience in here. $1,000 steak? Who would do that?
Because at the time I was trying to hook you up with my boy, and my boy was over there like, I'm straight.
Super straight on her. He did the Homer Simpson fall back into the bushes on me, right? But it was just a conversation about, you know, I want to be able to travel where I want to travel. I want to be able to eat what I want to eat. And I want to be able to just experience certain things. I'm not in these, I don't have a desire to eat $1,000 steak on a regular basis. But when I saw that there was this 14 karat gold truffle $1,000 steak, my taste buds got turned on. And if I want to have it, I need to be in a position to, I'm in a position to go get the damn $1,000 steak. So what am I supposed to do with a guy who's not? Say, well, I'm gonna go try this $1,000 steak real quick. I'll meet you back at the house.
I'll meet you at the crib.
I'll meet you back at the house, right? I am not, Shans, you know that I'm not that girl.
You know, that's really key. We're gonna jump into the question. What time is it, Jose? What time is it?
11:40.
Oh, I gotta call at 12. But we'll jump into those questions. But I think it's important too on the networking thing. You always
get me on this dang on $1,000 steak. You always manage to paint me out to be
I'm
like
about to say something to your
gold
credit.
digger.
I'm about to say something to your credit.
Okay, go ahead.
It's very important to have a network where that kind of conversation is okay.
Yeah.
Right? So we got this, we did the giveaway joint like at the Kroger, where we all went up there and we're feeding we're not homeless. We're paying for people's groceries, right?
$40,000 worth.
So yeah, it's crazy. So Neil called earlier that day. He's like, "Yo, we about to go. You know, everybody just pick a lane and we're gonna go give, right?" And some people in that environment wouldn't say, "Okay, we're just gonna go." That's not the network you're in,
right?
You feel me? But I'm in a network where they're saying, yo, we're all gonna meet up and we're just gonna show some love. So we spent about $40,000 at a Kroger. And it's like people coming in line. I'm like, all right, I got my card out. Swipe it. Neil swiping his card, Marcus swiping his card, and there's a whole bunch of people. It's a different conversation in that network.
It is.
Versus when the bill comes, okay, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Right? So let's jump into those questions. We only got like a few minutes. And in the meantime, I need you guys to like this video, subscribe to this video, and share it with somebody, okay? Likes and subscribes are very, very important. So
do the same on mine.
What we got? We got questions coming in.
Should you ever feel like you're...
Say it louder so we can hear it.
Should you ever feel like you're invading, placing yourself in... Oh, my goodness. Hold up. Your dad gonna screen protect is the worst.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. We can. Yeah, go ahead.
Like you're invading or placing yourself in others' networks to leverage their network.
Yeah, I invade all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I invade his network daily.
It's business.
It's business. This is the cost of doing business. Yeah, I'm invading, and what? What y'all gonna do? Put me out? I'm here now.
Think of it this way: when you meet somebody, they're not thinking that you're meeting them so that y'all can be best friends. They know what it is. Like it's a relationship. We just met each other. Can I add value to you? Can I add value? Can you add value to me? People understand that, but it's us that say, "Oh, I don't want to feel like I'm using somebody." Yo, this is what networking is.
This is what networking is.
You don't want to if you want.
People understand networking. The key though is make it as reciprocal as possible.
For sure. Make
it as reciprocal as possible. If you feel like you're invading on someone's space, chances are you also feel like you don't bring any value into that environment.
Big facts. What you got?
Speaking of that one, how do you feel about somebody that is in the room with you that hasn't built something but is trying to add value?
How do I feel about them? I feel great.
Somebody that's in the room.
Hasn't built anything.
They haven't built anything.
But they're trying to add value.
I think what's important, everybody has something that they can add value to somebody with. We all, like everybody that's watching this, you are amazing. You are blessed. You've been given some sort of gift. If you don't know what your gift is, that's okay. What's not okay is you're not trying to find out what it is.
Yeah.
It's not okay to not be in search of what is that thing? What is the thing that I add value in? Whatever you've done successfully, it doesn't have to be business. If you've successfully maintained relationships with your high school friends for the last 30 years, you can add value because you've done something that most people never do. Mm-hmm. So you've done if you used to be like, you used to fly off the handle and you were just super angry, well, and you fixed it, you've done some things, you can add value to somebody else's life who's struggling with that. So never feel like you don't add value.
And then real quick to that, I think what that person is also trying to say is, how does it make you feel when you're in a room with this person who's over here trying to position themselves as this expert and hasn't built anything?
Oh, they're capping?
They're major cap. That's different, right?
I don't like those people.
Yeah, it's corny to do, and we can tell. People can tell right away when it's all cap, right? We just know. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what's up. That's interesting.
Right.
Whose man's is this?
Right.
So next one is, what's her name? I don't know if you did introduction to yourself.
What's my name? Hey, you guys. I am Donni Wiggins. You can follow me at Donni Wiggins, DONNI Wiggins, WIGGINS _
Donni Wiggins.
Donni Wiggins.
And to follow up, if you're invited to an event with successful people, does that automatically mean that you belong?
If you're invited to a place with successful people, does that mean that you belong? Yes. Mm-hmm. If you got invited, you belong. Wherever you're at, that's where you belong. It's up to you to find out how you're supposed to leverage this environment. You belong there. You've had some sort of connection. You belong. Yes, you belong.
You absolutely belong. You're invited to any room, or you can belong. You choose if you belong, because there are some rooms that I'm invited to that I don't belong in because maybe they don't meet my standards, right? They don't meet my standards, so you don't have to accept every invitation.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts.
I am striving to learn new ways to leverage OPM and OPN.
Other people's money and other people's network. So you're trying to figure out ways to leverage other people's money and other people's network. On the other people's money, you need to figure out how you can leverage your own money first. If you are a bad manager of your own bread, it's going to be very hard to get somebody else's. So I was in this negotiation with an investor, and I had to assure the investor that I'm not asking you because I need the money. I'm asking you because I want the money.
Right.
But moral of the story is, I have the money to pull this off. I would like the leverage, and I'm giving you an opportunity. So if you want to leverage other people's money, you need to figure out how to leverage your own first. You need to be in a position where you're not begging. Right.
And then also you have to ask yourself, why does anybody want to give you their money? Why do I want to reach in my pocket for something that I've worked incredibly hard for and just give it to you? What is the benefit there for me, right? Even if it's like silent investing, there's still some kind of a benefit. So it all comes back to circling back to the value add. Are you asking for a gift? Are you asking for a donation? Are you asking for an investment? And then regardless, how can you make that person whose money you want to leverage feel like that was a good money decision for them? People who have money, generally speaking, are either good with money or have a team of people that are good with money, and they have to explain this expense, right? How do we explain that so that it makes sense? You can't just say, hey, I need $10,000 to launch this thing. Can you guys support me? I mean, if you go on the GoFundMe route, right? But if you're strategically and intentionally attempting to secure funds from somewhere, you have to say to yourself, okay, for every X amount of dollars somebody gives me, what is the value exchange that I can offer them?
Big facts. And then leveraging other people's network, make sure you're leveraging your own. If you take care of your network will introduce you to their network. Mm-hmm. You have to be the type of person that you will want in your network, and then add value to your network, and your network will introduce you to their network all day long. We got one more question because I got a call in a little bit.
What's the best way to get products to influential people?
Send them a DM.
So I just had this conversation with Sarah Lovestyle. Shout out to @Sarah Lovestyle. She's an amazing influencer.
I think I bought something from her.
Yeah, I bought some of her recipes.
I want to say I bought something off Clubhouse, right?
No, I bought it off of Instagram. But
maybe that's somebody else.
Yeah. Sarah, I just had this conversation with Sarah, and you have to remember that influencers are influencers for a business, right? And you have your micro influencers and your nano influencers and your macro influencers. And Google that if you don't understand what that means. But basically, people who you probably are seeking after to give them product, they're either micro influencers or macro influencers, meaning they have larger audiences, 5,000 and great, 50,000 and great, 100,000 and greater than that.
What am I at 100?
You're a macro influencer.
A macro.
Sit my nano butt over here. Anyway, I say that to say this might be harsh. And forgive me because I don't even know who asked the question. I can't see that far. Why do I want your product? Mm-hmm. Right? I am just not a collector of things. So this product has to make sense. Number one, does your product or your service align with that influencer's message? Mm-hmm. Is it in alignment with that influencer's message? If you have an influencer who only wears athleisure wear, you've never seen this person dress up, they don't dress up, they talk about how they love their athleisure wear, and you try to give them a cashmere dress and a pair of thigh-high boots, is that in alignment? That influencer is not turned on by that, right? And so you got to make sure, number one, that your product or your service aligns with that influencer's message. And then two, be very direct, clear, and to the point. Hey, I am Donni Wiggins. I have this product. I see that it fits into your network. Like, show them the benefits. Show them that this is something that they need or would benefit from. I would love to send you a product. What are your fees? Always ask, what are your fees? Because they may be so interested in your product that they say, oh, I would just love to have this. Send it to me. But we have to remember the word reciprocal, the word value 100%. Add, right? We want to shove our products and services in people's faces because they've done the work to become influential, but we don't want to pay them. We want them to promote it. We want them to post it 3 times, make the news feed, make the story. And all we want to do is give them we want to give them your $25 hoodie.
Right.
Is that a fair reciprocal value add? Offer something.
Yeah. Good point. Look, man, we got to get out of here. What does that say? 11:54?
Yeah.
11:44? All right, cool. Yeah, I got a clients at 12, okay? Really good conversation.
It was a dope conversation.
I really, really enjoyed this. So let's get to the commercials. You want to do a commercial first?
I want you to do yours first.
Look, I need you guys to okay? I need a favor, okay? I need you to, if you're listening to this audio or if you're like even on Instagram Live and you have the podcast app downloaded, like the Apple Podcast app, I need you to subscribe, okay? So you know when we're coming out, but this helps with our ranking, okay? I need you to give a 5-star.
We're in the top 150 business podcasts.
Yes.
That's super dope.
We're going to crack 100 before the end of the year. We're going to crack
100. I think we're at 147 to be exact, but
before the end of the year.
We have cracked top 150, and I'm just super excited about it because, again, Chance, you already had a successful thing going on, right? The podcast was already doing some numbers. We both know that when I became a part of the deal, of the platform, things kind of really skyrocketed. But I'm proud of you and what you've built, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it. Y'all like me on the podcast? Yeah,
look, and we got some stuff going on that that's going to take it up to a whole nother level. So That's super exciting.
Yes.
But yes, I need you to subscribe, okay, to both YouTube and the podcast, like Apple Podcasts, okay? Number 2, please give a 5-star review. Please give a 5-star rating. 5-star rating on the podcast, okay? Please give a 5-star, okay? And number 3, this is what I'm asking you to do. Leave a comment, okay? I need you to comment on the podcast, okay? Just so it helps our ranking, because the world needs to get this kind of conversation. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting, everybody that's been showing love, and everybody that's been being inspired by the podcast, and everybody that watches the commercials and don't get mad. So shouts out to y'all. This podcast is sponsored by the Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com, the only community that gathers every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with a theme about growth, okay? Every month we have a theme. This month we're on... Last month was content creation. This month was becoming financially literate. And every single day throughout the month, we are touching on that particular theme. There's no way you could be in this environment and not grow. And some of you just need a network. You need to be a part of an organization where you can meet other people that are moving the way you move in your same city. So go to themorningmeetup.com, and I'm going to do something special for you all that are watching right now. It's only $1. You can try us out for $1. You get a whole week for $1, not $1 per episode, not $1 per minute, $1 for the entire week, to see if it's something that that you can really sink your teeth into and be a part of. Okay, so go to themorningmeetup.com, and I'll see you in the morning.
This podcast episode is also brought to you by 6-Figure EDU. That's 6-Figure EDU. 6figureedu.com. I create coaches, and 6-Figure EDU is the only community that you can come into where you are helped building and putting together, developing your coaching and consulting business from scratch. Doesn't matter if you're looking for group coaching, one-on-one, you want to do courses and memberships and all those things. I am going to put you on and teach you my ways and how I've been able to be full-time as a coach for the last 6 years, a coach total for the last 8 years, and I have gone on to help develop so many other 6- and 7-figure coaches. Also, because we are live on Instagram, for those of you who are entrepreneurs, preferably in the service-based industry, and you are struggling to come up with content to post, you don't know how to tell stories that sell, you want to know how I do it, you want to know how Shans does it, I have a text group where I literally, from my phone that you are watching me on right now, text you 3 times a day a post prompt so that you can remove the overwhelm from posting on social media. You don't have to think about it anymore. I'm sending you 3 texts a day. All you got to do is text me post to paid. That's POSTTOPAID. Doesn't matter how you type it, just spell it. And you can text that to 404-737-2767. And from my phone to yours, 7 days a week, 3 times a day, you are going to get a fabulous post prompt so that you can start posting content that actually sells.
I love it. There it is. Listen, go out there, go get you some social proof. Okay, go build something and let other people see it. Then go back and teach them what you did. Okay, we are out of here. Peace.
Bye.